So I decided to film for one last time in front of the OG setup, in front of the OG wall. So I hope you guys enjoy. Today is going to be my April book haul, which is exciting. I kinda read more than usual in April. I think I might also be lying. I also might be tipsy. I don't know though, because I just went to go read downtown off of my college campus, and I was sitting at a coffee shop, and the coffee shop randomly had mimosas. So like, why wouldn't I get one? So yeah, so we'll feel the waters out as I'm doing it. We'll see if I'm tipsy or not. Before we start with April's books, I do want to touch on one book from March that I did not mention. I read The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, and I gave that a 2 out of 2 star. I gave it 2 stars because it's about a lady who like is slowly going crazy in her house with her husband, and she's like, there's somebody in the wallpaper. That's basically the whole thing. That's the whole synopsis. But like, I thought it was gonna be scary, and I was just gonna like, oh, you know what I mean? So I want to give 2 stars. But now I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I read 7 books in April. So let's get into those. I honestly do not remember what any of these books were about. Well, I do a little, but I don't know why. I'm not like, I can't think about my thoughts on these books for some reason. But okay, let's get into it. The first book that I read in April was The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. It's her debut novel, I think. I could be wrong. Let me read you the description for it. Alex has all but given up on her dreams of becoming a published author when she receives a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Attend an exclusive month-long writing retreat at the estate of feminist horror writer Rosa Vallow. I don't know if her name is pronounced Vallow or Vayo. Anyway, nobody asked. Even the knowledge that Ren, her former best friend and current rival, is attending doesn't dampen her excitement. When the attendees arrive, Rosa drops a bombshell. They must write an entire novel from scratch by the month's end. The author of the best one will receive a life-changing publishing deal. But with Rosa's erratic behavior, Ren's cruel mind games, and the alleged haunting of the mansion, Alex's chance to win becomes ever more challenging. When one of the writers vanishes during the snowstorm, Alex realizes that something very sinister is afoot. With the clock running out, she must discover the truth or suffer the same fate. So yes, I adored this book. I gave it a 5-star. It was a 5-star read. So good. These are all of my tabs. I have so many tabs because I just was like, I mean, the book was just like, I was like, oh my, I gotta tab it all. It was really good. There was like a twist, and it was like a different version than what you were expecting. So I never knew what was happening, but it was so quick paced. It took me a second to get into it, but then once I did, I was like, oh, well, yes, like it's gonna eat. And it has an undertone of queer romance, well, lesbian, I'll just say the word, lesbian romance, but it's kind of not really, because the whole time she's like denying that she's a lesbian. So it's like, is it? And it's like, okay, and then it's like, is she? So it's not really, she's like, I'm a lesbian. She's kind of just like, oh, I'm not a lesbian. You know what I mean? So, there's that. I really liked this book. It was so fun. There were so many twists. So I highly recommend The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. So good. Okay, then next I read a book that was really good. Right. Next I read The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. And I gave this one a 2. I think I gave it a 2.5. I think I might have given The Yellow Wallpaper also a 2.5, but I'm looking right at my Goodreads and I can only see like the star number, so I think I gave the writing retreat a 4.75. Hold on, let me go check. Let me just make sure. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to lie to you guys. That'd be really unfair and unjust and just not nice. Surprisingly, sorry, I'm talking about this one again. Surprisingly, the writing retreat only has a 3.4 on Goodreads, but I gave it a 4.89 because I'm actually the most annoying person in the world. That is crazy. Why did I do that? Yeah, I don't know, but I gave that one a 4.89. I think I was kidding, but like it's not fully a 5. It was missing like one thing that I wanted from it. But that's so funny. I'm annoying as fuck, actually. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, the memory police. I gave it a 2.5. A 2.5. So I was right. I didn't think I gave it a 2. Whenever I rate something, I think of what I rated Lolita. And I'm like, it can't be more, it can be less than Lolita. You know what I mean? Like, if I still enjoyed it, but it was slow, I think I gave Lolita like a 2 or something. Or like, I don't know what I gave Lolita, but nothing can be below Lolita because like, unless I really didn't like it, because I didn't like Lolita. My neighbor is drumming. I'm kind of glad I only have 2 more days in this apartment because it's summertime and I'm moving to a different complex next semester because this semester, this one had fucking roaches. I don't want to talk about it. So I'm moving somewhere else next semester, but my neighbor, who's on the 3rd floor of the complex, out of 4 floors, drums. He drums above me. And it's just like, I get that you like to drum. Love that for you. Why are we drumming on the 3rd floor? Take your drums outside. You know, have a good outside drum session. It's nice out. I'm just kidding, but like I'm not, because why are you drumming in an apartment complex? Whatever. Anyway, back to the memory police by Yoko Agawa. Okay, let me read you the back. Oh, I can't see. Okay. On an unnamed island, objects are disappearing. First hats, then ribbons, birds, roses. Most of the inhabitants are oblivious to these changes, while those few are able to recall the loot. Okay. Recall the lost objects live in fear of the draconian memory police, who are committed to ensuring that what has disappeared remains forgotten. Jesus, sorry guys, I cannot read. When a young writer discovers that her editor is in danger, she concocts a plan to hide him beneath her floorboards, and together they cling to her writing as the last way of preserving the past. Powerful and provocative, The Memory Police is a stunning novel about the trauma of loss. Okay, so you read the back and you're like, okay. And for some reason, whenever books are translated, they are so good. So far, but not this one, unfortunately. You'd think because of what it is on the back, it'd be so good. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm gripping my seat, like, you know what I mean? But it kind of felt like I was reading a school book, like a school project book, and that's never what you want. Never what you want. It was just kind of like, okay, he's in my basement. It's sad that he can't come outside. Like, it's kind of just like, he was in her basement, and that was just like, it was nothing like, oh my god, but it was kind of just like, he's in my basement. Whatever. That's that one. I don't know if I'd recommend it. 3 stars and up, I'm recommending. 3 stars and down, 2.5 and down. I guess 3 and down I'm not recommending. 3.5 and up I'm recommending. But the next book is one of my favorites of the semester, the month, favorites of the month. This was I think, my only 5-star read for the month, and it was Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Can I get it ate so good. I was reading this during the eclipse. That's what I remember. The eclipse was happening, and I was reading Powerless because where I live in Ohio, and I'm at a secret university that I won't name, will say banter. I loved the yearning. I loved the just overall vibe of everything. But I will say though that it felt like I was reading like The Hunger Games by somebody else. But I also love The Hunger Games, so I was like, ah. Also, Powerful, the novella, the like 1.5th book in the series came out today, and I went to Target and they didn't have it. Something to think about. What's up with that, Target? I drove an extra 3 minutes for you and you didn't have my freaking book. Whatever, I don't want to talk about it. Let me read you the back of Powerless. Only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Ilya. The exceptional, the elites. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born the ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilya and shunned from the sorcery. Wait, that is not what that says. Shunned from society. Why can't I read? Maybe I am tipsy. No one knows this. No one knows this better than Peyton Gray, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. But when she unwittingly saved one of Ilya's princes, Kai Azar, she's thrown into the plunging. Oh my god. She's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince, she's fighting feelings for will if he discovers what Peyton is, completely ordinary. That's my bad. That's my bad. If you don't understand what I just said, feel free to go to Google because I literally butchered that so crazy. But I adored this book, mate. Like, it was so good. Like, I could not put it down. This book is what, 450 pages or something, and I read it in 3 days. And I only read for an hour a day. You guys know this about me. That's my thing. But I read this book so fast, mate. So fast. It was crazy. So yes, very big recommendation for Powerless by Lauren Roberts. An amazing debut novel. I also, it's a YA book, and I have not read YA since I was YA, and I'm 21 now, so like I'm in a different place than I was when I was 13. But I loved it. Highly recommend. Okay, on to the next book. Alright. Next we have Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. Oh, wrong letter. Starling House. This one I gave 3. I said it's like 3 or less. I couldn't pick one. But this book is about, it's a really long thing on the inside, and I just like CBA to read it because I know I'll fuck it up, so I'm just gonna tell you what it's about. There's this house in this city, and every time everybody thinks that everything bad that happened in the town happens from this house, so they're like, oh my gosh, we don't F with this house at all, like F them, F everything, we hate the house. So this girl is like looking for a job because her mom passed away and she has to take care of her little brother, and she gets a job cleaning the house, and the house is like calling to her, so it's like, what's that about? So yeah, that's pretty much it. I really was so excited to read this book, like embarrassingly excited to read this book. I was so excited, and it just didn't hit the way I thought it was going to. I was excited for a gothic kind of like contemporary fantasy, and it was kind of just like in my some books take me longer to read page wise. Like, I don't know what it is. I will read a book, like the text was also kind of tiny, so that makes sense, but it took me so long to read one page. Like, it was just like I could barely get 50 pages in under an hour. It was crazy for me. But it felt like I was reading this on Adderall, if that makes any sense, because I would read it and like a big thing would happen and I'd be like, oh, let's keep going, and then like something else would happen, I'd be like, oh, like a sad thing would happen, I'd be like, oh, like there was no like emotion, like I just couldn't, it just wasn't making me 308 pages. And that was a big difference after Powerless, because I was just reading that thing all night long. I was so really sick when I was reading Powerless. Anyway, there was a romance in here that I didn't realize it was happening until they told me that it was happening. Usually in a book you can detect what characters are gonna like start fucking, and this one, I was just reading the book and all of a sudden it was like, he looked at me like he would never let anybody hurt me, and I let him, and I was like, oh, so you two are boning, interesting. So I didn't love that. There was also another romance that was kind of just like, you didn't know we were dating, and I was like, girl, no, you guys have not talked to each other the whole book. Why would I have thought you guys were dating? But it was a good story. It just was told a lot more. I think it could have been. I think she was trying. I'm not Alex, so I don't know how to write a book either. So like, don't listen to what I'm saying. But I feel like she wanted it to be an adult book, so she wrote it in a way that was boring and like, girl, it's okay, just write how you feel, you know what I mean? That's how I felt about it. But I was so excited for it. I loved the concept. I was so into it. I was literally losing sleep over reading this book. I was dreaming of the house, and if you read the book you know what that means, but I was dreaming of the house. I was like, oh my god, the house is calling me. Anyway, that's Starling House. Also, one random ass thing about this book, I was at a national park near my campus, and I had stopped in this bougie ass neighborhood because I love to look at mansions, and I had a convertible, so it was warm outside, and I was like, mansions and convertible, like, it was just a good vibe. And I go to one of their like rich ass fucking little like library things in their neighborhood. Like, you take one and you get one. I think I talked about this in my last video, but I had this in my bag because I'd taken it with me to the park. I didn't know if I was gonna read, but I opened the fucking little library. Okay, my neighbor just broke his fucking leg. I opened the little library and I'm like, it's this fucking book. One of those rich ladies had a fucking book of the month. I don't know why I'm cussing, I'm sorry. One of those rich ladies had a book of the month subscription and didn't like any of their books that she chose and just put them all in there. And it was like, oh girl, you ate. So obviously I didn't grab it, but I was like, that's so funny because I have been trying to find this book everywhere. Haven't been able to. Anyway, the next book that I read was Biglet by Lottie Hazel. Biglet. Biglet. This one is about a woman who's. Oh wait, let's listen to these really quick. My favorite sound. This one is about a woman who is about to get married. She's a food journalist kind of thing. Like, she works at a food magazine, I think, a food publishing house, a cookbook place, something like that. And she's getting married soon. Basically, her husband does something before they're getting married, and then he tells her, and then she's like, fuck, and then it's just everything spiraling out of control. But I've been wanting this book for so long. I saw Haley Jean talk about this book a while ago, and I have just been obsessed with this cover. Like, look at this fucking cover. Look at it. Slay. Love it. It's a oil painting of a Big Mac, I think. But anyway, I gave this one I think I gave it a 4. I gave it a 4. It was a lot. It was like a nice contemporary fiction, deranged woman media. Not deranged, but like unhinged. And it was very fun to read. I read it very quickly. It read very quick, which was nice after Starling House, because Starling House was like a chore. Oh my god. But this was fun. So I appreciate that it was fun. And yeah, it was just a nice, fun, contemporary fiction that I really liked. So yeah, that's Biglet. I don't have much to say about it. Oh, I will say this. I don't like how they called her Biglet the whole book. I think they said her name in the last few chapters. one series wouldn't it be referring to the main character as? Her boss is calling her Biglet. Her coworkers are calling her Biglet. Her her fiance's parents are calling her Biglet. Like, it's just like, okay, why is this girl just being allowed to be called Biglet? Because if I was like, oh, my name's Biglet, they'd look at me and like fucking point and laugh. So that was kind of unbelievable. But yes, I did really enjoy the book though. I do recommend it. But yes, that's Biglet. The next book that I read, that I so graciously read, was Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. When I first started this book, I was like, I hate this writing. I hate it so bad. I was not into it. It was kind of written like a Wattpad book, and I was like, I'm not believing that anybody's saying this, or that she's thinking this, or that he's doing this, or like whatever. I got a couple chapters in. Okay, I got a couple chapters in, and I was like, okay, I see your game. I was into it. I was enjoying myself. Yeah, I will say, very random, that I've read 2 thriller books that consist of like podcast excerpts in it. If I had a nickel for every single time I read a thriller book that had a podcast in it this year, it'd be 2 nickels. But it's the 4th month of the year, so it's like, that's kind of a lot of nickels. But I really like the book. It started getting good. It started getting nice and fast-paced and cunty and fun. I liked how the characters were all fleshed out. I liked how there were so many twists and turns. I liked, there was like a subtle, like, what's the subplot of romance that I enjoyed. It was just, you never, I didn't guess the ending, which is really good, because I always guess the ending. Like, maybe like 2 chapters before the ending, I guessed the ending, but like, I wasn't like, ooh, I know who it's gonna be. So that was very fun and fresh. So yes, highly recommend Listen for the Lie. This book is really fun. Okay, the last book that I read this month was a coffee table book, kind of. I read, it's heavy, or I finished, I should say, the Sofia Coppola archive. If you guys don't know something about me that I might not have told you guys, I love movies, and I love cinema, and I love going to the movies, and I just love everything about them. I watched, I think, like 360 something movies last year, so I definitely get around. I'm a slut for a film, some may say. One of my favorite directors is Sofia Coppola. I love her shit. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so gorgeous, but it's also so like sad. Like, it's just so fun, and it's just, I don't even know if I can do this without breaking a body part, but it's just like kind of a, wow, okay, thank you, like a picture book of her films, and with a little bit of like, she talks a little bit. There's some emails that she sent in here. Like, she does a few excerpts on like what was going on. So yes, I love Sofia Coppola. My ex-boyfriend actually got this for me for Valentine's Day, and I finally finished it last week. No, 2 days ago. I don't know why I said last week, but I read a little bit, and then I was just like, okay, let me just sit down and finish it, because it's a picture book, so it's not gonna take that long to finish. For some reason, I put it off for 2 months. But whatever, it's my like prized possession, this freaking book. I love it. Sofia Coppola is the daughter of Francis Ford Coppola, who directed The Godfather. Little tidbit, if you guys don't know anything about, I mean, that's obvious if you like know movies, but if you don't, that's one of her connections to the industry. But she's just so good. She's just so amazing. I love her so much. But yes, that was all 8 books that I read this year. When I'm looking at them all stacked up, it's hella pages. pages because I like the Sofia Coppola book is so fucking big. I'm like, wow, maybe I'm fucking crazy. But it's only 480 something, which is like, okay, so it's the same size as Powerless, question mark. Random. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys dearly. I am going to miss the little nook we've created, but my next apartment, you guys aren't fucking ready. I'm just kidding. It's just really nice. It's downtown, so I have big windows and just modern appliances. And I'm on the top floor, so I don't have to worry about my neighbors walking and I have to pause for videos. But it's just so nice. Everything's so modern and nothing is from 1970 like this apartment. And so far, I think there's no roaches. So that's a plus. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry I'm a little bit all over the place. To go back to the beginning, I think I am tipsy, or I was at least. I might be coming down now. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I hope you enjoy your week and your day and your night and everything until I see you again next week. So, I love you guys so much, and thank you for watching.